Why would you rank on Bing? Well, that is the kind of answer that I got when I asked an SEO Facebook group a few years ago about how to rank a website on Bing. And a lot of people just discouraging me from optimizing my website to rank on this search engine, and they have a good reason for it. Why would you put so much effort and attention on a search engine with tiny traffic? But that's not exactly true, because there are a few good reasons of why you should want to rank on Bing. So for me, I just discovered that a lot of my websites actually rank on this search engine, and I actually don't do much anything about it. And that's quite interesting because I have done my keyword research based on the searches on Google, and yet that pages or that articles are nowhere to be found on Google, but they do appear on Bing. Another good reason to rank on Bing is that Bing is not exactly small. Sure, compared to Google, it's pretty tiny, but it has over 1.3 billion visits every single month, and to put that into perspective, that is higher than sites like LinkedIn, Pinterest, and Quora. And we all know that many people are generating millions of traffic from this website, and also Bing's index is actually used by other smaller search engines like DuckDuckGo, Yahoo, and Ecosia to serve their customers. Basically, if your website ranks on Bing, then there is a good chance that it also ranks on other smaller search engines. So I think ranking on Bing is definitely no-brainer. And let's not forget that AI like ChatGPT, Meta AI, and Copilot are using Bing for their search engine, and they also display links and websites on the search result. Combined together, Bing has billions of traffic every month, and you definitely want to tap into this market. So let me show you how to make your website ranks on the second largest search engines as well as smaller others. So let's get into it. Okay, the first thing you need to do is to make sure that your website is SEO friendly, at least according to Bing. But fortunately, the core principles of SEO friendly website on Bing is more or less the same as Google. Things like high quality content, mobile friendly design, HTTPS, and backlinks are pretty much a few things that Google and Bing are agree with. However, there are a few key differences, but I'll cover about that later. For now, it is recommended to submit your website to Bing Webmaster. So Bing Webmaster is basically the Search Console version of Google, but on Bing. And all you need to do is just submit your website on Bing Webmaster, and you can even just import the data from Google Search Console right into Bing, and it will carry all the information or traffic data for you to analyze. Bing Webmaster and Search Console are more or less the same, but there are a few standout features that I really like. So one of them is that you are actually will see this kind of info on your dashboard, and basically Bing will tell you about what area that your website is weak, and it lets you know how to improve it. In this example, I received a notice from Bing to get a backlink to my website, and this is pretty much accurate because I never do any backlink for this website, but apparently Bing is quite transparent about it, and it is very helpful for any webmaster trying to improve their ranking on the search engine. Google doesn't give you insight like this, so props for Bing for giving a very clear information. I just really wish that Google can be this transparent. Oh wait, never mind. But if you don't want to add yet another SEO tool to your arsenal, then there is one simple solution. It is called Index Now. But what is Index Now anyway? Well, Index Now is a protocol that is developed by Bing and Yandex and some other small search engines to allow their bot to crawl a website very efficiently. So instead of their bot crawling your website every single hour, they will only visit your website when you update or add a new content to your website. This is actually really good for your server because now it doesn't have to be suffocated from the hundreds if not thousands of bots that visit your website every single day. So how do you get this Index Now protocol in your website? Well, it's pretty easy. You can use the Index Now SEO plugin to get your website indexed on many smaller search engines, and the process is automatic. You just need to install and activate the plugin and you're set. And if you are using RankMath, then it's even better because RankMath comes with a module that allows you to use this Index Now protocol right into your own website. But if you are using yours SEO, then unfortunately, this feature is locked behind premium subscription, and that's quite strange because the Index Now protocol is open, but yours is actually charging you money for it, so that's kind of strange. Anyway, as I mentioned earlier, Google and Bing share similar ranking factors, but there are a few key differences that you need to know because it would affect your rank tremendously. So first, Google is focusing more about the search intent. When you enter a keyword on Google, that keyword will be interpreted by AI AI, and then the AI will display the search result based on its interpretation of your keyword. This is quite useful because a lot of people don't actually know how to use Google. I mean, they know how to use Google, but the keyword they're using is not exactly correct. So Google uses AI to translate human keywords to know the meaning or the intent behind that keyword, and therefore could display the most relevant result. But Bing doesn't use that technology. Instead, it is a bit more literal. For example, if you have an article about the best electric bicycles for commuting in 2024, then that exact keyword or that exact page title would have a better chance to rank on Bing compared to Google, because it will take the keyword and see which pages actually displaying that exact keyword. That is kind of similar to Google about a decade ago. I'm not saying that Bing is bad, but I'm just saying that it is a lot easier to rank using Bing compared to Google. Another thing that differs from Bing and Google is about how they approach devices used for crawling. So Google in 2016 decided to use mobile-first indexing, meaning that the mobile version of your page is going to be the primary way to rank your website. But on Bing, it was the opposite. If Google is mobile-first, then Bing is desktop-first. But I think that makes a lot of sense given that Bing is the search engine used by Microsoft Edge, and Microsoft Edge is the default browser for Windows, which is a desktop operating system, and that makes a lot of sense for Bing to prioritize search results on desktop compared to mobile. But still, it is a good practice to optimize your website regardless of the visitor screen size. And lastly, about social signals. So Google is pretty clear about that social signals are not very important on the search ranking factor, and this is still somewhat true after they accidentally released the leak about how Google algorithms work. And even though there is a bit of indication about Google using social signal, it is more about brand reputation and brand authority. So it is not exactly similar to what Bing is using on their search engine. On Bing, things like the number of followers, the engagement, the number of likes are very much important and could affect your rank on the search engine. So if your business have an active community and high engagement on social media, then that's going to be a plus point in the eyes of Bing. And I think the key ranking factors on Bing and Google will eventually merge because Bing now has a clear information about how Google operates thanks to the massive leaks a few weeks ago. That massive leaks reveals some insightful knowledge that you should know if you want to make your website ranks on the search engine. So check out this video to learn more about the key points from the Google's leak, and I'll see you there.